just be. Don't take it. Take it. Just don't leave and live my life. Don't take it personal. I ain't lying. I ain't hiding. I've been grinding, multiplying. I've been trying to get my weight up, staying prayed up, meditating and taking time away. You always posting up pictures, trying to look like you winning. I'm writing rhymes in the kitchen, soaking in moments we live in.
Hello, everybody, and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
We're here at Girls Only TV with my girl. I'm Angie. Have my girl Karen here.
Hey.
Really excited to be here with episode 2. It's been a journey already.
But it has been. It's crazy. It's been a journey. Especially going into the new year. This is our first episode of the year, and I'm excited because a lot of things just throughout the year that we have going on. I'm super excited. So let's get into this.
I've been waiting for this for forever. I feel like
it's been a long time.
Oh my goodness.
It's been a long time. It's crazy.
It is. So
year.
Say again.
How was your New Year?
Really fun. Got together with a couple friends, ditched the children for the evening. It was great. Great. How'd you do?
I got some much needed sleep. Okay.
Yes, sleep.
Knocked out. Right, girl. Like I didn't like I wanted to go. Like one of my friends had a birthday party, really wanted to go, but couldn't make it. But I was like, if I'm gonna do anything, I'll be in the house where I'm safe and away from, all the craziness. Me being from Chicago, I ain't have to sleep on the floors to avoid bullets coming through windows and stuff. So it was a good time. Sleeping out.
It's a good day. I know that's right. So, to jump right into the episode today, I did find what I sent to you a little while back, and I did think it was a apropos kind of starter piece. There was a story the end of last year, where I was on some show or other, and he said that he calls the time that he spends with his daughter thought prevention hours. And a lot of people found that really, really, really offensive. And were just kind of like, why would you say something like that? Whereas there were people that were like, yeah, that's kind of what you do, right?
Right.
So what do you think?
I just think T.I. in general is an asshole. I do. I think a lot of the stuff that he do, like I think excuse me, it's a lot of stuff that he does that from what we can see. And I don't know if what he does off camera and out of social media and all of that stuff. But some of the ways that he treats his daughters versus his sons is completely different. Like it's completely different. I don't think I would be able to deal with him as a dad. I couldn't. I think it's a lot of double standards that I noticed that he deals with when it's in comparison to his daughter and his daughters and his sons. It's a lot of double standards, and me and my husband talk about that all the time. Like certain comments that some men make when it comes to their sons versus when it comes to their daughters. If it was to be the same situation, oh my ain't doing that. It's a whole bunch of that. So that he irks the hell out of me. I'm just gonna be completely honest. It really irks me. What do you think?
You know what? I always tell people not to ask me that. I don't pay enough attention to him to really care where he's coming from. I don't. But I guess the comment I'll say, I agree. I can't. I think that there is a
But you know, we
very
come from two different backgrounds too.
we do. We definitely do. Um, I can't say that I was like super close to my dad. But he was there. Uh, and we did, talk a lot. So, but he's not the person I took my life advice from. Okay.
Right.
So there was that, but I mean, as far as him saying, a father should spend time with his daughter, and kind of teach her how a man is supposed to treat her, and how, how she's to be uh respected and all of that as a woman. I think that's
I
a
agree with
valid
that
point.
if you're leading by example. I agree with that because you can say one thing and then you showing me a whole different thing on the other side. Like we can't, like me and my dad, we're not close. We haven't been close. I don't even foresee us even being close. But I wouldn't be able to take my dad serious if he was to try to give me advice on how a man should teach and raise how a man should treat a woman, because I seen the way that you treat women. So why would I want to take advice from you when I see the way that you treat women? Like I wouldn't be able to take my dad serious. So when it comes to Ti, he's been he's been in plenty of um he's been in the highlights of him cheating on his wife and all types of stuff. So I don't think that he should be in a position where he should be trying to tell someone, especially his daughters, how a man should treat them. Because if anything, they're going to look at your actions before they listen to your words. If you're not treating my mom right, why would you try to tell me how a man should treat me? And then I
That's true.
goes to that comment. You know how people be like, like if a man is being disrespectful to a girl, like on social media or something, they be like, well, how would you like it if if a man came and treated your daughter the way that you treat, the women that you with?
Yeah.
Some men honestly they don't care. I honestly think that they do not care, because if men did, they would, especially if they got daughters, you will carry yourself way different. So that way you can lead by example versus your words. Like your words don't mean nothing to me. I need you to show me what it is you're trying to teach me.
That's true. That's true. But I think also there's something to be said for um Ti, because he got money. But there's something to be said for you know being able to kind of pick out the differences between who I am as a person and who I want you to be with as my kid. Like me being a mom, I have 3 boys. And honestly, some of these moms make me scared for who my boys is gonna have to date.
Yeah,
Okay. So I try to, yes, be a good example, but there's a lot of stuff that I try to, I want to say, correct in in their view. Like I don't have it all together like I feel like I should.
yeah.
But that doesn't mean that y'all can't, hope to be with somebody who does have it together. You know what I mean?
I get what you're saying. Like it's always areas of improvement. You will always want your kids to do better than you have been. I I
Yeah.
I completely get that. But I just know for me, when it comes to like, I don't have daddy issues. I don't deal with my dad.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, so when it comes to um advice that you would try to give me, I can't even take you serious. Like, I've seen you beat my mom. I've seen you have several kids out of wedlock. I've seen you constantly cheat on my mom. You know, and then especially when it goes into we can have a conversation, but you have to understand that. So let me explain it to you like this. When when I used to have conversations or attempt to have conversations with him, it would be more of your opinion doesn't matter, what I say go. So if you're trying to teach me how to be better, or you're attempting to teach me how to be better, if my opinion don't matter, because you're the man, and you feel like if I have a separate opinion that I'm being disrespectful, we don't have nothing. There's nothing you can really teach me. Like that's I don't know if that makes sense. You know what I'm trying to say?
It does. It does, and it actually goes smooth into the second question we were going to talk about.
What was that?
That the second thing was, do you feel that, I guess, how do you feel about, because you said your father felt like he was always right because he's the man. So like, how do you feel about what people call gender roles, as far as the man leading the house and being the head of the household, so to speak, and the woman kind of playing second fiddle? I guess I wouldn't call it that, but I guess that's kind of the perception.
It is. And it's crazy. I see that as a debate on Facebook all the time.
Constantly.
All the time.
Constantly.
And then it's always well, women got to be submissive to the man, and they got to learn how to do this. But for me, I feel like when it comes, like, my husband can lead the household all day, every day. I'm gonna follow him as long as he leads me in the right direction. There's a difference between you wanting to lead your family and you leading them the wrong way, and then you wondering why your wife or your lady don't want to be submissive to you or don't want to allow you to lead, because you taking them into 10 fucking two. Like,
right.
Like, where are we going right now? Like,
we going that way. What are you doing?
It don't make no sense. But I don't have a problem with allowing my husband to lead. Like, as long as we're on the same page, I have to have a say in whatever it is that we're doing. Like, we have to have be able to communicate and have a conversation about where it is that we're being led to. Because like, you already know me, like, I don't like following people anyway. Like, I'm really like, I really don't.
But I got it.
if I'm gonna follow anybody, it's gonna be my husband. But I want you to I want to make sure that you're leading us in the direction that we're supposed to be going. Like, we have to be on the same page when it comes to that, whether it's dealing with anything. That's even like with, I know a lot of people say, well, the woman is supposed to clean, the woman is supposed to cook, the woman is supposed to, to do all of this extra stuff. And I'm like, that's all fine and dandy, but the way we do stuff over here is not going to be the way that you do stuff over at your house. Over here, sometimes if I cook, my husband will go in here and clean, so I won't have to. If if I cook and I need to go, say for instance, I didn't cook, the food is being prepared, I'm done cooking, I want to go and hop in the shower, I don't have to worry about making my plate, because my husband may go and make my plate for me. A lot of people may be like, Karen, that's stupid. You're supposed to make the man plate. Listen, like I said, what work in my household may not work for you. But me and my husband have understanding that what we do work. So, when it comes to like the kids, like if like for instance Deuce, like we talk about this all the time. Like I have stuff to do in the morning, okay? Vance gets Deuce ready for school. A lot of people are like, well, Karen, you supposed, the wife's supposed to do that. No, we are married. This is a unionship. Like,
we're just telling.
Like, what are you talking about? So I don't have a problem, following. You just need to make sure that you lead me in the right place, because I've seen the way some men want to lead households and then just be a whole shit show. And then you're the one there's no say, like the woman can't say what she feels. Like my mouth's too slick, I'm too outspoken, and I'm not going to be quiet for nobody. So if I feel like we're not on the same page, I'm going to say something. So that way we can get on the same page. But then again, that's where that communication lies. But some people will look at our marriage and hear that and be like, oh, well, no, that ain't gonna work for me because the Bible said this, or other people said this, and tradition said this. Like, listen, that's all fine and dandy, but we do stuff different over here, okay? I need all the support that I can get, especially as a woman. So if your man is going to be there, if we have an understanding for him to help me in areas that I need help in, I'm not going to turn down no help. Like, I'm not. There's been times where the kitchen looked a hot ass mess, and he would get up and go and clean the kitchen for me because I didn't feel like it. He know the stuff that I don't like doing. So if I don't like doing those things and he don't mind doing it, he's gonna go and do it. But does that make him any less of a man because he decides to go and bust some suds? Does that make me more less than a wife because I ain't finna bust no suds? Like, bro, I cook for you, but I'm not gonna clean them dishes. I need you to do that for me, bro. Like, we gotta meet halfway, partner.
Yeah, wait.
We gotta meet halfway. Period.
I could dig it. Listen, because my husband used to get up in the morning and I didn't have nowhere to go. Okay. I wasn't getting up and getting the kids ready for school. That was 6 o'clock, 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, baby. Listen. Okay. I just closed my eyes real good. Not getting up. Not gonna do it. And my mom, you know, because like my mom's really, really traditional. She used to get up with us, you know, that sort of thing. So she would just like, you don't think that you should get up? No, I don't. No. I would go out with a friend and leave my boys with my husband, and my husband would order 2-3 pizzas and they would sit and eat pizza all day. And I've had people, your husband doesn't cook food, and aren't you concerned? No, I'm not concerned. I'm gone. I'm gone. As long as the house is intact and nobody is harmed or bleeding when I come back, we are fine, baby. We can fix everything on the back end. Okay. I'm with you. I do not mind you know, I don't mind being the quote unquote woman in the relationship. I don't mind that at all. My husband Lee, and that's cool. That's why he's my husband.
Exactly.
Okay, that's why I chose him as my husband. I trust him. He got a decision to make. He come to me. We talk about it, and then we keep going.
That's the part right there. Like, a lot of people feel like, you know, okay, well, the spouse is supposed to make all of the decisions. The man's supposed to make all the decisions in the marriage. What are you talking about, bro? Like, if you're gonna make all the decisions, we don't need to be married, because this is not you in a marriage by yourself. It's me and you, and if we're gonna do this together, we're gonna do it together. Like, me and my husband, we've been married going on 11 years in April. The first part of our marriage we had, of course, because, you know, typically the first couple of months of you being married, you're going to be butting heads a lot because you're still learning how to live together and all of this other stuff and knowing how to communicate and all of this stuff. But right. After that, we had to have a conversation. We've had several conversations where it's like, okay, our communication is something that's really important to us. Whether I'm sitting next to you, like me and my husband can be in the same room and we'll be sitting next to each other texting. Like, bro, I know you. I asked him this the other day. I said, bro, why don't you just ask me this and you're sitting right there? Why don't you message this?
Because I could talk better.
Girl, I don't care if it's verbally communicating or we're texting each other back and forth. We're gonna communicate, and we always get back on the same page. And then sometimes it may be situations where you may not always understand what the other person's viewpoint of something is. But as long as we have a common ground and we can meet at that common ground, we good. But I don't want to be in a relationship or a marriage where the man feels as if what he says goes, and I don't gotta say so, and I'm a grown ass woman. That ain't what we doing. Like, you know.
And I think that comes with people misconstruing the word submission. Like, I think there's this big old stigma, whereas you're just, you know, when you're submissive, you don't say anything, you don't have an opinion, you don't have anything, you just go along with what he say. No,
ma'am.
No. I'm gonna say what I got to say, and he gonna say what he got to say, and then I'm gonna say, listen, whatever you do in the end. Mm-hmm. Like, if it's not that important to me, because one thing I've learned being married, and there's also something to be said for being married versus just being with somebody. Because I'm not finna submit to nobody. that I didn't marry.
You ain't earned that right.
Right. You didn't earn the right to be man of my house. You didn't what? I'm the man of this house. So you put a ring on my finger, okay? Like that. Anyway.
Yeah.
But I just think there's this, there's this really big dark cloud around the word submission or being or the idea of being submitted to one's husband that shouldn't be because it's just childish to me. Like
Yeah.
how childish are you? Somebody say submit to your husband and I'm not submitting to nobody. You don't even know what it means. You have no idea. Like you didn't look that up. Somebody just said no to you and you acting like a 4-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
So
What was you gonna say?
no, go ahead.
I was reading this post. My friend had made a post on Facebook a couple of days ago. I forgot the exact words that it said, but it was I sent a comment on the post that said something around the lines of, if I've been married for, the person was married for like between 30 to 40 years. And she's saying how she would rather stay, she don't want to have to start over. So she prefer to stay with the person that she's been married to. And she's not going to, she refuses to pretty much just, figure out, delete that person and move on or whatever.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, but it was more stuff in that comment. But the first thing that I thought about was, I don't care if I've been married for 50 years. If it comes to a place in this marriage where I'm unhappy and there's no way to get back to the place where we was, where the happiness was, I'm not going to continue to allow myself to waste any more time of my life that I only get one of being with someone that I'm unhappy with. And I would prefer to choose my peace over me just settling for the fact like, oh, I've been with this person 50 years. I might as well stay with him for the rest of my life and just be miserable. Like, I don't understand that. Like, that makes literally no sense to me. So I had made the comment and I was like, if it ever came to the point where me and Vance was just like, there was no working it out, there was no way to figure that shit out, I'm not finna stay in a relationship because we done been married for 20 to 30 years. Like, I would rather much move the fuck on. Like, I'm gonna move on. And it doesn't mean I'm gonna move on with someone else. I'm gonna choose my peace over us being together because I'm unhappy.
I can see that. I think for me, I couldn't see a situation, not very many situations that me and D couldn't
Yeah, me neither.
figure out.
Yeah.
So like that's
I think anything can be figured out if you're like, now granted, my no-goes, I'm not doing no cheating. Like, you ain't having no babies you ain't having no babies on me. We ain't doing none of that because that's over and done with. No physical abuse, no none of that. Like, once you do that, that's a wrap. Like, those are the situations where you can move you can move on. I keep on saying that.
right.
So sorry.
But everything under that,
you can figure it out. Communicate.
talk
about it.
We'll figure it out.
And that is not that deep. It's really
right.
not deep outside of that.
I'm just saying.
But I had to figure, if I had a situation, but I was like, I can't, like you said, I can't think of a situation outside of those things where we can't work it out. But if I had to put myself in that position of that post, I'm not going to sit there and choose to be with somebody for all these, just stay with somebody just because we've been married for all these years and not choose my peace.
I couldn't be as stern as you in saying that because I'm a person that gives people chances. And so like after a while, once I get tired, I'm tired.
Yeah.
That's it. I'm done. I don't have any feelings about it. There's nothing else to say about it. I just drop it and I'm done.
Would you, when
But
you're at that point where you're just like, I'm tired, and say for instance y'all been married for 30 years, are you gonna be still in that place where, okay, well, I'm, like, how will you feel?
I probably, more than leave, I'd probably check out, in the sense that I'd live as if I live by myself. You could be here.
But y'all still be together.
Probably.
Even though you're emotionally checked out? Everything about, when a woman is fed up, she's fed up. There's no coming back from it. Like,
That's super
and you
tough
have,
for me.
huh?
That's super tough for me.
Because you can't imagine yourself doing that. I already know.
I can't. I can't imagine doing it. Like there's I'm stupid stubborn, first of all. So like something real deep would have to happen. But again, short of you cheating, having kids, physical abuse, like if you just being an asshole, I'm gonna tell you being an asshole, and we gonna argue about it until you stop being an asshole.
Right.
You gonna make me miserable? I'm gonna make you miserable. You gonna stop being an asshole because I'm not divorcing you. What? You mad? Be mad. I'm mad. Like,
Yeah.
that is just. I know it seems like I'm hemming and hawing a lot, but honestly, like I couldn't say it. I couldn't be as stern on that point as you are. Like I don't see a point where I couldn't figure something out, other than, like I said, that obvious breaking point. I don't see where we couldn't figure it out.
Yeah, it's honestly like you said, it's no for me, it's no other reasons outside of like for me but this is with anything. When I'm tired of something, you're gonna know I'm tired. Like it's gonna be written all over my face. The communication is not, you're gonna know I'm tired. And I say this all the time, a woman, when she's tired, she's tired. If you're not something, you can stay in a situation for as long as you want to stay in a situation until it doesn't matter how many people give you advice and say, oh, you know what, you should do this and you should do that. If you're really genuinely not tired of that situation, you're going to stay in it. But I don't think there's any situation outside of those things where it's like, okay, well, me and Vance been married for 30, 40 years. And I'm like, okay, well, you're getting on my damn nerves. Like, I'm done. Like, outside of me just, like, we can figure this shit out. Like, you ain't going nowhere. Like, we've been playing this.
Right. We don't put too much into this. At the point that you've been married for 30, 40, 50 years, like, what is it? What is it? What is your problem? What's the problem? We can figure this out because we've been together this long. What is the problem? It's
Just the communication. But if you're not, if it's beyond communication, and I'm just tired, and I'm over it. I don't care. We've been together for generations. I'm
yeah,
done. Because I honestly,
there's nothing else you can do.
Yeah, because I can talk to someone and pick their mood up, and it starts to affect me. So if I have to walk around the house with you and you're in my face all the time, and I'm I would prefer to protect my peace over anything. So yeah, like if it's not something we can work out, then I'm gone. Like that's crazy. I don't know, but like you said, I can't think of a reason outside of those where it's like, okay, well, I'm gonna get tired of my husband in 30 years. No, like
Right.
I like being around mine.
Like I've seen those older couples that don't sleep in the same room, live in the same house, eat breakfast every morning, go different places, do different things, meet up at the end of the day, have dinner together, and then sleep in separate rooms in the house. Like, why are you together?
Oh, man.
That right there, that's at that you're not together at that point.
You're not. Why are we? What are we holding on to? Move around.
And that's what I mean by checking out. You know,
Yeah.
you just I don't know what else to
It
do.
sounds like
I don't
both
know
of
what
y'all
else to
checked
do.
out.
Yeah. I don't know, what else to do or where else to be. I don't want to be with nobody else, but I don't want to be with you right now. Like
Yeah.
that's figure outable to me.
Mm-hmm.
You just got to talk about it. Um,
That
I'm
communication.
sorry. I feel like I cut you off.
No, you good. That communication is on. It has to be on point, or it's not gonna work.
Mhm. Communication is a big, big, big thing that I don't think very many people have in their relationships. I don't think we learn how to communicate. Um, and it's sad.
It is.
It's really sad. Like you could see that um, all over Facebook, Twitter, any social media. People just don't you don't communicate well. You
But you know what? Like you said, we didn't learn it, and like for instance, growing up, for me,
Mhm.
you couldn't say what was on your mind. Like, and it's like me and we have this discussion in our household all the time. It's a difference between your kids telling you how they feel and them telling you how they feel and being disrespectful about it.
Mhm.
Continuously tell your child or if you continuously tell your children or give them the impression that they can't say how they feel when they grow up, they're not going to be able to communicate because you always shut them down when they were trying to tell you how they felt about a certain situation or try to get that understanding. They're going to grow up and they're not going to know how to communicate. They didn't learn them skills when you were supposed to be the one teaching them.
That's a good point. And it's when you were talking about your dad, I was saying that's a typical parent stance, especially in the black community. Say do what I say because I said it, and I'm your parent, and you don't get to question me. You don't get to do any of that. Just do what I told you to do.
Yeah,
Uh, and I think there's so much of that. Like you're
yes.
you're not raising a soldier, you're raising a human being. They're gonna have to go out here in the world and they're gonna have to know how they feel and understand how other people feel and be able to, get that back and forth. Like you
But
can't
that's where a
just
lot of
shut
people
them
lack a
down
lot of
because
empathy. They don't know how to talk to people. Um, it's a lot of reasons. It's a lot of situations that you end up causing your kids to go through as adults because you didn't teach them when they were younger. Like like for instance, you tell a boy stop crying, like boys don't cry. Who wrote that rule that boys don't cry? Because at some point, just because men are humans, boys are humans just as well as women are. So what
right.
get to the point where only women have the authority to cry when they're feeling down about something? Men should be able to do the same thing. And you should,
Yeah.
as a woman, you shouldn't look down at your man and think that he's weak because he's shedding a tear because he feels a certain type of way. Men have feelings too. Like I don't understand that.
I don't. And that goes right back into the uh topic about gender roles in the household. Like who says that men don't cry? Who said that men don't like pink? Mom of three boys, my middle boy, if I subscribe to everything that people say, I would think that my middle son was gay. My middle son likes, pastel pretty colors and unicorns and fuzzy stuff. And I let him. Like I have very, very strong masculine brothers who disagree with me, but I'm like,
You have to let your kid discover who they are. Don't
exactly.
make that decision for them. Like you can like we said in the last episode, you can literally raise your kids to be, you know, and give them the values and everything that you want them to display. But they're gonna be their own person, which is why a lot of the times a lot of kids rebel against their parents because you're not allowing them to be who they are and allowing them to discover who they are. Like it's crazy because you know how people be like, well, you know how people be like, if a kid say something, like for instance, this is a good one.
Mhm.
I'll be like, we'll be like, you know, mind your business.
Mhm.
And then a kid, and then you'll have somebody be like, well, you don't got no business. And listen, this is as a kid. You don't got telling the kids you don't got no business. How come I don't? Like I may not be in your business, but I have business. Like I don't never it's a lot of things that we were told as we were growing up that I didn't understand. Like you want me to be able to learn from you, but you keep putting me down and you don't even realize that mind your business, you ain't got business, or you like all these negative connotations that you keep saying to your kids, that stuff affects them.
Just to make yourself feel like the big parent, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm bigger than you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
It's crazy.
it's crazy to have an inferiority complex as a parent. Like I definitely feel like just like a communication issue or something, I feel like you should definitely get therapy for
Yeah.
before you get married. I feel like when they do your prenatal counseling, they should counsel you about inferiority complexes. Like you are inherently older than your child. They do not believe that they are smarter than you. They can't believe that they are smarter than you. They're not trying to get one over on you. They're just doing what you taught them.
And then sometimes the stuff that they do, they're just being kids.
Yeah.
You can't like that's girl, like that's one thing that I can't stand is to see like a 3, 4, or 5 year old having fun and running around like they're not hurt, they're not doing nothing to nobody, they're minding their business, they're playing. And then you tell them stop doing that, or like you constantly tell them to stop being a kid. Like you got an attitude they doing something that kids do. Like I don't understand.
Stop playing in that mud. I just bought them shoes. They didn't ask you to buy them
You
expensive
messed up.
behind
You
shoes.
messed up that shirt already. It's a brand new white shirt. They're a kid.
What you want? What you want? They did not ask you to go buy the most expensive outfit on the rack. All they needed was some clothes. They was gonna go play anyway. That's all they trying to do. You want them to look nice. They want to go play. They want to be comfortable. I can't stand it, and I see it too much.
Yeah.
You know, uh, just you want to dress your, and they do it with little girls, dress them up like little baby dolls, and it's like, oh, you got to sit down, and you got to be pretty, and you got to be proper, and you got to do it. Wow, she's 4.
Yeah.
She is
And even if you
4 years
decide that
old.
you want to dress her up in the most expensive stuff, don't expect for that stuff to stay pristine. Like it's gonna get messed up.
Learn how to clean it, wash it at the end of the day, and
Okay.
keep it
Just
moving.
clothes. Just clothes.
Because they can go and make mud pies.
Have fun. And then you come over killing their fun and killing their mood, minding their business.
Killing their vibe.
Why don't
And then get mad
you?
when all they want to do is sit in the house.
Yeah.
It's I don't know, man. Like there needs to be readily available parenting classes. I mean, just
Yeah.
that.
I just feel like if we I just feel like when it comes to these everything that we just been talking about, that a lot of the stuff that we just have to honestly sit back and look at ourselves. Like, don't look at nobody else. And I tell people that all the time.
Yeah.
Like for instance, I'll ask a question like, you know, what is some things that you're like? I asked this question before, I think on my page, and I was like, what are some things that you're working on for for 2021, or something that you're leaving behind in 2021, like something that focuses on you. And I promise you, the main answers that I was seeing was focused on other people. But the question is not about other people, like, because everything starts with us. And who you decide that you want to let into your space starts with you as well. So what are you willing to work on? Because you're going to attract the people that's for you. The people, like I tell people all the time, people don't believe that all birds flock together. Like
They really do.
Because everything that you do, like everything, all the energy that you put out, whether it's negative or positive, whether you know, your ambition is on a whole nother level, whatever you put out is what's going to be, what you're going to attract. So if you are always, you know, around negative people, then start with yourself. Start with you, because it's something about you that's drawing this negativity to you. And I was asking them, but I think that it always starts with us, and we have to figure out, you know, even when it comes to marriage, when it comes to the way we raise our kids, it all starts with us. And you can't sit here and expect to raise perfect kids, because there's no such thing. There's no such thing. They're gonna make mistakes. They sometimes, some kids gotta bust their ass a couple of times for them to learn the hard way. Even if you tell them, don't touch it, it's hot, don't touch it, it's hot, and you want to go and touch it anyway. Well, at this point, you need to learn, you need to have a life lesson so you can remember, like, oh, okay, well, this shit is really hot. Like mama told me, but I didn't want to listen. But I think, you know, I think this was these are some good topics, because I see it all the time on my timeline. I'm so serious.
Yeah. And I think it's stuff that we really, really need to deal with, especially as women, because I don't think that people really understand that women run everything.
Yeah.
As we go, so goes the world. So, like, when we decide to put an end to things like, you know, uh, stupid arguments over submission to one cousin, or whose plate gets made first. When we decide to stop, you know, giving credence to those arguments and actually start dealing with issues like, what am I spilling over onto my kids? What kind of person am I raising my child to be? You know, when we start dealing with stuff like that, then we'll see a really big change. And I feel like, especially in our community, but in the world.
That even goes back to the values. A lot of us don't have them. We work
Don't know what they are.
on having values as a family. So when it comes to you raising your kid, and you wondering why they run around the world like just acting all crazy, half the time, you know what I'm saying, half the time they doing it, like you could raise, like I said, you could raise your kid and think that you're teaching them everything that they need to know, and that you're the perfect parent. Like I hate when people say that. My kids, your kid is doing something, and it may be something they're doing behind your back and you just don't know. But there's nothing as a perfect parent, none. And then when, you know, so when it comes down to it, they going around acting crazy, and they're going about life as if they don't have no values. You got to look at yourself like, do you have them?
Did I give them any values? Do I have any values? You know, like,
I see
and
make my plate all the time.
To bring it full circle, that goes back to who you choose to have your kids with. If you choose to have your kids with an asshole, then clearly you have no values. And you can't teach
and knowingly knowing they're an asshole and they don't treat you right. Now, I mean, like, so I don't want to judge them or judge another woman based off of that. Like, I don't, you know, we don't anyway, but when it comes to you knowing that this person is already had 4 to 5 kids that they don't take care of.
Like, you see the red flags beforehand. You do. Whether you choose to ignore them or not, you see them.
They're being ignored. They're being ignored. And that even makes me think about like if we kind of hop off, you go on to a different type of subject, but when you have kids with someone, whether it's a man having a, you know, baby mom, baby daddy, whatever,
right,
and you have all this unnecessary ass drama,
that's a reflection.
I don't understand it, because at the end of the day, ain't none of this about you. So whether you like this person, especially if the person wants to be in the kid's life, whether it's Because you do have some men that have custody of their kids.
Yes.
So whether if the other parent wants to be in that kid's life, but you so much wrapped in your own feelings because this person didn't do this or this person didn't do that, or
They hurt me.
beef when you still technically kind of in love with the person, you mad because he done moved on and got with somebody else or whatever the case may be, that ain't got nothing to do with the kid
At all.
And at the end of the day, you're not hurting this man from keep
You hurt your kid.
hurting the kid.
And then that no one talks about when the kid gets older and gets to form their own opinion, and they go around and get the whole story and find out that you was just being a jerk. So I don't have a relationship with my father because you wanted to be in your feelings. Now I got issues.
Issues
You
on
know,
issues.
issues on top of issues on top of issues. And then I got to try and repair a relationship that I didn't break with my dad. Like I really think that people should give thought to one, what you doing when you have kids, and two, like who you having them with. Like you have to. But there's a lot of um personal stuff wrapped up in that for me because I have not personally, but I have a lot of family members and things who deal with baby mama drama, baby daddy drama, you
I
know,
don't got time for that.
custody of the kids. I don't. I absolutely do not. I don't have time. But
Whether you choose to take care of your child, that's gonna be your decision. Like that's your decision. Because at the end of the day, I'm gonna be the person that's gonna be there. Like they're not gonna know no different. But that's like with my two older boys. My two older boys have the same dad, and then they have Vance.
mm,
When it comes to the dads, they get along. It's been several times where we didn't all went out and hung out. We didn't been, family gatherings, and we didn't went to their house, chill. Like I don't, that's why I don't understand for the life of me baby mama, baby daddy drama, because it's unnecessary. Like this is not about me. He got a whole girlfriend, fiance that my kids like. And even when they got together, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh well, you got another girl around my kids. What?
that's not your business.
That's not my business. As long as she not disrespecting my kids and doing them bodily harm, and she doing you good, like that's your business.
Bye.
Your dad, I have to respect the fact that you are in another relationship. We've been far removed from being in a relationship, and we've all moved on. But not only that, I have to respect you enough and trust you enough to know that you're not gonna have somebody that's not supposed to be around my kid.
Right.
So when my kids came to me, like when they around the time when they first got together, my kids came to me and was like, they told me all about her. I packed her up a goodie bag, had all types of good stuff in it, and sent it over to her with a personalized note and thanked her for being there for my kids and helping take care of them.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be no beef. Like what are we beefing about? I don't, we're
I don't want him. I don't want him. What am I beef with you for?
like we're friends. Like I kid you not. People will really look and be like, how can y'all get along the way that y'all get along?
How can you not? How can you not? And that's the difference between being really, really done and being messy. And what you find out is a whole bunch of these, baby mama, baby daddy dramas, whatever. They just want to be messy. You just want somebody to see you. You just want some attention. You don't care about the kid.
Yep.
You don't
If
care.
that's your primary focus, you wouldn't be worried about all that.
I'm just saying. How are you worried about who they father dating, who they mama dating? Why is that your concern? What, you want them back? Do you want them back, darling? Then that's a conversation y'all need to have. but don't put the kids in the middle of it. If they want to go see their dad, let them go see their dad.
Let me pack you a bag. Let me call him so y'all, let me pack your bag.
Goodbye. Goodbye. I see you when I see you.
That even goes into like those videos where I be seeing where women be having an issue. And the crazy thing is the girl that the dude may be dating, maybe someone is treating your child right, not disrespecting them, not putting their hands on them,
Right.
like being respectful to that child. And then they attempt to do the child's hair and it blows up into a hole.
Oh God. Oh my
Why are
God.
you mad? Because she wants to do your child. So it's like you can't win for losing. I do your child's hair, you got a problem. I don't do the child hair, and you looking like, oh well, why she ain't do my baby hair? You got my baby out here looking crazy.
Looking crazy. Want attention.
Unnecessary.
Oh, you didn't buy this type of boots, or you didn't buy these type of clothes. Why they wearing Walmart clothes? Because that's what he got them. Like, they have clothes.
Why does it matter? They got clothes in back.
What does it matter for? Like, what do you have to go through all of that for? This is supposed to be about the kid. That's just like I saw because I told you I'm in a whole lot of mom groups and wife groups and things like that. So I recently saw a post like that where oh my gosh, something about the father wanted to take the boys to meet his girlfriend, and he asked the mother to send them with a suit because he was going to take them to a nice dinner or something, whatever. And she was just like, I haven't met her, so no. And he was like, you've had 3 different boyfriends since we've been together. I ain't met none of them. Why are you doing this? And she's like, well, I don't know her, and I don't know what type of person you gonna have around my kids. So until I meet her, then no, my kids can't be around her. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean? Why are you that attention hungry?
I don't like. I get like if the you've been but you know what? I can't even say what I'm about to say because
Nope.
it's kind of like it's kind of. I think it's on both parts though, because you could have someone around these kids and you don't realize that's a lot of the case where these kids end up dead.
True.
Hands of the person that the other person is with. I think that I can't even say it because at the end of the day it don't matter, especially if you're the one who's always having different people around them kids. If he's with someone and he wants to take them out, why is that an issue?
Why? Why is it an issue?
The moment that he sit there and take a picture and he got some other kids in the picture, you're gonna be like, oh well, you ain't invite. You know what I'm saying? You ain't invite
my kids, but that's what I mean. Like, you just want attention. You want somebody to pay you attention.
Mm-hmm.
And for real, like, you still in love with old boy, and you want him for yourself. So like, you just gonna make him miserable till he feel like he can't do nothing but come back to you, and then you gonna tell him no so you can have the satisfaction. Like, what is the end game? And who's gonna be looking after y'all's kids while y'all playing these games with each other?
Girl, listen. I just feel like, as women, we gotta be way more. We gotta think way more about the stuff that we're doing as women. Because men, some men do, men ain't perfect, women ain't perfect. But at the end of the day, you can't learn to be better you can't learn to be better if you're constantly around people that's gonna root. Like, for the life of me, I promise you, when I be looking at some of these posts, when I be looking at the comments, and you got some women on there like rooting the girl on, even though she's in the wrong. What kind of people are you surrounding yourself around? Because if a real friend gonna tell you, like, bro, you need to chill out. Like, they're not going to sit there and tell you what you want to hear. They're going to tell you what you need to hear.
What you need to hear.
You're wrong. You're wrong. And there's nothing wrong with telling someone, bro, you're wrong for that.
Right. And I think too, we've created a culture where you can't say that to somebody. Everybody is like, oh, I'm gonna do me and I gotta do what makes me happy. And it's all about me and me. And so anybody that tells them anything different, they just kind of like
Oh, you ain't
write them off. Or you a hater.
what?
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm
you
getting
can't tell me nothing.
right. You can't like I can't tell you that you're wrong. Like, and then my thing is, I don't want no yes women around me. If I'm wrong about something, I don't. If I'm wrong
Mhm.
about something, I want you to tell me because maybe I don't see, and it goes back to the whole mindset shift. And your perspective has to sometimes change because your perspective could be all jacked up, and the way that you grew up could have a lot to do with the way that you see certain things, and the people that you're around has a lot to do with the way you see certain things. And until you remove yourself from those situations and want to open your mind up to learn a different perspective, you're going to always be stuck in the same mindset. And that's where a lot of us women have a lot of our downfall at. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
so, I'm stuck in my ways, team, no new friends. No, boo, you need new friends.
No, you
What you
definitely
have is
need a friend.
trash. Sorry, now
That's half the problem. Half the problem is you ain't got no new friends.
you need to elevate your circle if you want to elevate your mindset. And I
Yeah.
with you, like I said, like I'm sorry, not sorry, but your friends are trash. And if you don't realize that, like it's like I said, I'm looking at these comments and I'm like, bro, you hang around this person? Like
You
I
friends with them?
promise you, Angie, today I deleted a lot of people off Facebook just off the negativity. And it was a lot of women. And like I'm one of the people like I don't care about blocking you, especially if you can control social media, you can control what you see on Facebook.
Right.
If I see something that doesn't align with what I want to see on my timeline, I'm going to remove you. I seen a picture.
Exactly.
It honestly broke my heart. Regardless of who was in the wrong or whatever, it shouldn't have been done. But I seen this post of this lady talking about this other girl. Girl had trying to expose her with text messages, nude pictures. I'm just sitting here like, why would you want to belittle, regardless of if she was wrong or not? Like, I don't even care about what the backstory was.
What do you get from that?
What are you getting from exposing her like that? And then the other girl was a business owner. You're messing. Not only are you exposing her nude pictures, talking bad about her, tagging her in the post, so all her clients can see what it is you posting about this girl.
That's disgusting.
You can mess up her. You're messing up her brain. Is the meaning, and you're doing it to another woman, and that irritated the hell out of me. I'm like, okay, well, I gotta block you now because that was unnecessary. Like, for the life of me, I don't understand it. We just got to do better as women. It starts with a lot of, and then the people in the comments were rooting this girl on.
Yeah. Yeah. Because
Somebody, somebody
they
should have
feel
told her, bro, you need to
justified.
take this down. Why, if the girl did do something, why are you stooping to her level and making yourself look the way you look right now? Because you look crazy. You look crazy. You look childish. You
Yes.
can tell. And if the girl wanted to press charges because you circulated her nude pictures around, she could. But
Yep.
this the energy that you going into 2021 with. Mm-mm.
It's that um it's just that need for validation. And it goes right back to the kind of household you grow up in. You know, your parents don't tell you you pretty enough, or they don't, validate you and who you are, and you wind up going around trying to find validation by being right about people. You go and berate people and tear them down and feel like you right about it.
But when you do certain stuff like that, like that even go back to me when I was growing up. Like I used to, like I tell y'all all the time, I was a bully. I don't give a damn. Like I was a bully because, like I said, like in my head, I'm thinking I'm gonna get you before you get me. Like it was a whole defense mechanism at
Yeah.
the day, but that don't take away the fact that I was hurting other people. Like I was hurting people. Whether it was me, me fighting, whether it was me in my words, whatever it was, I was gonna hurt you. So it's like when it comes to the way that I look at things now, it's completely different. Like I look at myself and be like, bro, you was wrong. It's like it's been a couple of people that I picked on in high school or in grammar school, and I've as an adult inboxed them, even though you may be, you may not even be thinking about this. Now that I'm an adult, I can see that I was wrong as hell, and I owe you an apology, even as an adult. And it's okay for some women to say, you know what, I'm wrong. But if you don't have the people around you to help you realize that your ass dead wrong for the shit that you're doing, no one's going to hold you accountable because you ain't holding yourself accountable. And you an adult. And they got the nerve to have kids. Got the nerve to have kids. And now your kids see the way that you treating other people. And you wondering why your kids doing the same shit because they seen you do it. So that's where that goes.
And cut them out for doing the same stuff that you do.
Listen.
Tear them up for doing the same stuff that they see you do. You cuss somebody out because they forgot to put a straw in your McDonald's bag, and you want to know why your daughter flipping off at you at the drop of a hat.
They repeating stuff that they see.
The patterns are there.
And then even when it comes to bullying, I tell people all the time, even when it comes to social media bullying, you're wondering why your kid is a bully. But you're a bully. You're just your form of bullying is way different because you're an adult and it's 10 times worse. So you can sit here, like I seen one of the comments was telling the girl that the post was about that she needs to go and die.
Why would you say that to somebody? Like, I don't care what a person's done. Like, why would you say that to somebody?
Girl, I don't know. But I promise you, when I seen it, I was like, bro, you got to get off my timeline. I can't. Because you're way too pretty to be acting like that. She's a beautiful woman.
Mm-hmm.
But your actions is making you look extremely ugly. Like extremely ugly. It was heartbreaking when I seen that. It was heartbreaking. And to have your people behind you rooting you on. And I think all of it was around a man. To have you rooting this person on, and those are friends that you say you don't need no new friends. No, boo, you need some new.
Definitely do.
You need 2021 need to be your year of I need to elevate my circle. And quick.
I'm just saying. Because we definitely gotta stop some of this madness.
Yeah.
Just, as women, there are some things that are not going to stop until we stop them. And that stuff like that, we have to stop it. We have to stop it. You're not going to gain anything from tearing another woman down. You're not going to look more powerful. You're not going to look, anything but weak-minded and childish. You're not accomplishing anything. You're not building anything. And then to tear down what someone else has because you can't build anything is being a hater. So, like, we got to stop that mindset. Like, we've got to come out of the houses that we grew up in and come out of those mindsets and start making progress. Because stuff like that, I can't call it anything but disgusting.
It is. That's why I can't. Like, I'm telling you, you know how I am. Like, when I see like just women going back and forth, that like I said, breaks my heart. It's sad, and like I'm glad that we are building that community. Even through Girl Gang Social, where we have a space where we can be positive, we can uplift the next woman, we can do all of these things, and there's no intimidation. It's not no competition. We're trying to move forward. We're trying to be able to elevate our life in any way possible. And if we're able to pull the next woman up with us and we all do this together, we band together, a lot of stuff can change. But you're gonna always have those women who just
don't want to get with the program.
and then look at the people that's always talking about positivity and being around, other positive women like they crazy. Like what? Like, bro, you get
What
around
do you mean?
women and get rid of those negative people around you and see the difference. It hit
You'll
different.
never go back.
Not at all.
You know, never go back. Listen, I'm a big fan of the old school gangsters. So you know what I'm saying? When you when you get together, you together. And when you working together, you working together. That's not
Yeah.
for nobody else. That ain't about nothing else. It's about accomplishing the mission and getting
Mm-hmm.
out the way.
Like what
That's
are
it.
we building? Like I don't. For me personally, I don't want to leave this earth with my legacy being Karen the bully from high school. I want to be able to leave this earth and leave a legacy not only for my name, but for generations to come. Even when it comes to my kids, through any type of legacy building, whether it's financial. Like I don't want to leave this earth with my name being something negative or meaning something negative in somebody else's eyes.
Or
So,
even
mhm.
or even just being, for lack of a better word, average. Like Karen, Angie, mama three, wife. That's it.
What did I
That's,
accomplish in that dash?
what are
What
you
did I
doing?
accomplish? And that reminds me of that status I made about how we only get to live life one time, and we're literally wasting it on shit that don't have nothing to do with shit. Like
Nothing at all.
care about who you sleeping with. Why do I care about your opinion and it's not going to make or break me? Especially if it's negative, and then we run with the negative opinion. We are
My
so used
thing is, why do
to
you have an
negativity.
opinion?
But it's crazy because we're so used to highlighting negative stuff that we bypass the stuff that people are saying that is positive. You can call me, you can say what you want to say about me at the end of the day, but I'm not even going to pay attention to it because I know the positive stuff I didn't put out there. I know
Right.
I know that there are people's lives that I'm going to impact and it's going to be positive. Everybody not going to like you, and I'm not saying that they have to. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to focus on like if I make a post about something or a picture of my family and I got 2 or 3 comments that's negative. Okay, so if it's negative, you can get blocked, and I'm gonna move on. Not gonna make or break me. That's even with this. Like everybody's not gonna have the same viewpoints that we have. That's fine. We're not supposed to have the same viewpoints.
It's okay.
But there's a way for you to say that you don't agree with what someone is saying respectfully.
And
There's
it should always be respectfully.
yeah.
Always. Yeah.
Drama.
That's it.
I'm over here just like this is some good topics. Like
It is.
it's gonna
I
ruffle a couple
really,
of feathers, and that's fine. It's supposed to.
I'm really, really excited about um kind of the things that we're gonna get to go into this year, the things that we're gonna get to talk about. I'm excited about the guests that we're gonna have because I feel like um just kind of starting the conversation and bringing up these topics um in a light that about finding healing rather than an argument.
Right.
um I think that is going to make a really, really big and positive impact. And so Like I'm just I got quiet because I'm just kind of taking it all in. Like, man, this is good. Just can you imagine what else there is to go into and what else there is to delve into and
It's a lot.
how many people you could have to kind of talk about these things from a professional standpoint, um and get people started with that mindset shift, that perspective shift, taking themselves out of the houses that they grew up in, so to speak, and being able to find that place of healing so that they could do better,
Yeah,
or move past those situations or make better choices. Stuff like
yeah.
that is what I do this for. So I'm just I know you saw me just kind of go stone faced there for a second, but I'm really, really excited.
No, me too. Like I would just, it's not even you being nervous. It's just like, dang, there's just so much stuff that we got planned, and it's gonna be, and even if, like I was thinking about the even with this channel, at some point we're gonna reach the masses the way that we want to reach them. But we have to continue to talk about those conversations that people don't want to have, because no one's talking about the stuff that we need to talk about as women. It's always just wrapped into, things
Drama.
that don't matter. Like we have to be able to, have different conversations and have a community of people, women who understand. So,
Right.
everybody's not, like I said, everybody's not going to have the same, point of view on certain things because everybody didn't grow up the same. But the difference is I'm in a position or in a headspace of I'm willing to learn so that way I can see other people's perspective. So that way maybe I haven't been looking at things the right way. And I'm allowing the things that I've been through to hinder me being able to be more open minded about a certain subject or a certain situation. So
Right.
yeah, it's just gonna be amazing. We got a lot of stuff planned for 2021. We are going to be making sure that we are posting on every Wednesday at 9 o'clock in the morning. Our videos will go up, and we're gonna even have a little guest on next week. I'm super excited about that.
Woo!
Like, I'm excited. We about to start getting 2021 going to be lit. Um,
Lit.
haven't subscribed to our channel, you definitely hit subscribe. Turn on your post notifications, or by hitting that bell. If it's still red on the home screen, you need to click subscribe, okay? Because it should not be red. Do not just watch the
Okay.
video and do not subscribe, okay? That's really rude.
Come
Okay.
on.
Share this video. You have
With
anything?
all your friends, start your conversations.
Yeah, and interact with us in the comments. Like, let us know what your thoughts is.
Yeah.
Thoughts are on the things that we talked about today, because we do want to, have open dialogue. And then if you want, which you should come over to Girl Gang Social. We can pick it up. Pick the conversation up. There's what 2.3 thousand women in that group right now, and I'm pretty sure they would love to have a conversation dealing with the things that we talked about in this video and in this
Absolutely.
episode. So. As you got
And
anything?
then you will get to see the difference in a more positive mindset, a more positive group of women working towards solutions rather than trying to argue and be dramatic.
Yeah, like
Change your life.
it's not the place for that. Like where it's gonna definitely change your life. It's a whole different. It's a whole mood in
It's
girl.
a whole mood. I'm trying to
Whole
tell you.
mood. Okay.
So thank you for being with us on this edition of Girls Only TV. I'm sorry, I'm tickled. For being with us on this edition of Girls Only TV. We look forward to episode 3, where we will have a very special guest and we will be talking about um what is it, domestic violence
Domestic violence.
and physical abuse and things like that. So that is a conversation you do not want to miss. Don't want to miss it. Join us next week. We're really excited to have you. Thanks for joining us this week.